Hey guys, it's another episode of Getting Sober with Wilder. No music today. Of course, we always have problems, but today we have a interview with Stephanie Mills from Barbersville. She wants to tell her story, and here we go, Stephanie. You're live.
So I'm a recovering addict. All I ever did know was drugs. Growing up, my mom and dad was alcoholics. So like that's what I grew into. I am 34 years old. And just recently, like 9 months ago or 10, I got a job. I've kept a job now. But being a recovering addict makes me want to live life a different way than I used to. I used to be really bad, depressed, suicidal. I would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning just to shoot air bubbles to take my life. I would go into a building and deadbolt myself in and burn the building down with me in it, and God let me live. So he gave me ways of living life without putting a needle in my arm or being on drugs. He gave me a new life. He touched my whole world. And like he did it as I was a sinner. I woke up one morning and I just wanted him to take the taste out of my mouth. I went into a church. I begged the preacher. I was like, please pray for me that God will take the taste out of my mouth. And he kept saying I had to give it all to him. You have to get saved. You have to do this. And God told me if I clean myself up, he'd do the rest. And he took the taste out of my mouth. I never had to dedicate my life. I never had to do all those things until later on when I wanted to do those things. I went to rehab. I've been in prison. I did 5 years for meth precursor. I was on parole. I went backwards and forwards on, um, going to jail, in and out of jail. Couldn't do nothing because the drugs drug me down to a whole different life to live. So like I know there's help out there, and I know that um, recovery is the biggest thing. That you don't have to have relapse in your recovery. To me, I've not relapsed. Like when I first got sober, I did mess up that first little bit, but after that, I'm not. I don't want relapse to be a part of my recovery. So that's the way I see it. Is I don't want it to be a part of my recovery. It's not going to be a part of my recovery. That's how I live today. So having a job, knowing that God can do anything in the world, man, God is awesome. He can clean you up. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to get saved. You don't have to do all those things that people say you have to do. You just have to want it. As long as you want it, God can give you anything. And like being sober is a whole different positive life for me. Like people see me a different way. I may not see it, but other people see it. They see it. They comment on it. They know that where you come from. They know who you are. They know what God can do for you. I know what God did for me, and He cleaned me up. He told me if I clean myself up, He'll do the rest with me. Now I lost my husband in addiction. I woke up to him OD. He didn't make it. I had a 1 year old son, and I was pregnant with my second son. And I it's like my whole world went crashing in, and that still didn't change me. It still didn't want me to get clean. I've just been clean a little over a year now, and my husband died in 2012. So being a little bit over a year and it's 2020, you know that God has His own plans. Like being a recovering addict makes my whole life a whole different life. I want to live today. I want to live today. I want to help other people. I want them to know that they can recover from it. They just have to want it. If you don't want it, then you're going to keep on getting high. And people are dying. Like death is all around us with drugs.
Yeah.
So like all I know is like if anyone ever, I mean, you're welcome to even hit me up on Facebook Message or whatever. I'm willing to help anybody or be there for anybody that wants recovery in their life because I've fit this battle all my life and I'm almost 35 years old and I've only been clean a little over a year. So that tells you that's all I've ever known was drugs. Like I know this, just the struggle. I know the fight in life to win this struggle. And if you want it bad enough, you can get it.
And like you was saying about your salvation, Him, God
Hmm.
taking away. Your salvation is like your recovery. Your
Hmm.
salvation and your recovery is 100%
Hmm.
different than mine. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But
Yeah.
but your story is my story. we're
Yeah.
relatively come from the same place of addiction. I
Yeah.
mean, I can relate to some of your stuff, and I'm sure the people out there that listen to us, they can hear it too. They,
Right.
it's like the truth, like Jesus was telling the truth. When you
Yeah.
hear the truth, you know it, and
Hmm.
that's what a lot of people need to hear to help them. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't know how to quit, don't know how to take that first step.
Hmm.
Sixty
Yeah.
percent of the people that want recovery do not have the resources, support system.
The first step, though, the first step, the only step they have to take is say, I want to be clean. That's the first step, is I want to be clean. I'm tired of living this life this way. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of not wanting to live. I'm tired of being so dark in a hole that I can't get out of. I'm tired of living dead but being alive. I'm tired of that life. So if you, all you have to do is want it in your own mind. Nobody has to want it for you because that won't help. When I went to rehab the first time I lied through the whole thing. You know, it's fake it till you make it. So
Yeah,
I lied through the whole thing. I made it. Okay, that was through them making me go to rehab. That was through being on, in and out of jail and in and out of a courthouse, in and out of all that stuff. Like they was making me do it. This time I wanted it. I was fighting for my own sobriety. I was fighting for my own life. I was tired of waking up living that way.
you
I
was
was tired of just dead. I was so dead. Like I was tired of it. So like the second time I went to rehab, Hope in the Mountains, that's where I graduated at. Man, they showed me a whole different scenery of why recovery is so important. Why recovery is, if you want it, it's your choice. Like if you choose to want to stay in recovery and choose to want to live today, then you can do that. You just have to choose it in your own mind. You have to want it for yourself. Like I couldn't want my kids wasn't like I love my kids, but they wasn't so important to me. I didn't love them enough to get clean. I had to love myself to get clean. I had to love myself to say I'm so tired of this life. I didn't even love my kids enough to get clean. I had to do it for myself. When I went in through this second, and I graduated recovery, Hope in the Mountains, when I graduated it, the only class that I did not uh, get a certificate for, and I think they gave me one anyway, was looking in the mirror and saying, I love myself today. I'm beautiful today. I'm a different person today. All those parts, I couldn't even look in the mirror and put makeup on. I disgusted me. I hated me. I hated who I was. I was because in all this that happened to me, I was raped. So like I was so bad in my mind that I didn't deserve to live, that I deserved what he done to me, and I deserved all these bad things that happened to me because of who I was. In my mind, I deserved that. So why would I look in the mirror and tell myself I'm a different person today? But today I can look in the mirror and put my makeup on. Today I can look in the mirror and do the things that I need to do that I couldn't do then. And I wanted recovery. I wanted to be clean, but I couldn't look in the mirror and tell myself that. And today I can do that. So, like, if you tell yourself you can do this and you want this is what you want in your life, then I promise you can do it. I promise you can survive it. I promise you will make it because I did. I was one of them people that would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I would put a needle in my arm just to watch the air bubbles so I could see. I did it over and over just to see if my heart would bust and waited and see if my heart would bust. Like I was one of them people that lived so in the dark that wanted to die so bad that I would have done anything to do it. I was a dealer, so I would shoot up my shot, which is probably a quarter or more, and somebody else's too, because that's who I needed to die. I needed to die. I begged God to please take me
you
from the
just kept
world.
pushing it and
But
pushing
like
it.
I did. I did. And God let me walk. And, when I went into that building, I dead voted myself in so my family could. My kids was in the trailer next door. And I put a big cover over the window and I set it afire. And the smoke inhalation wasn't coming fast enough. It wasn't coming fast enough. I needed to die. And like today, I'm that person that wants to live. I want to help other people like me. I'm a survivor. I am in recovery. I do not think that relapse is a part of my a part of my recovery. I never want it to be a part of my recovery. So if I don't want that, then it's not going to be a part of my recovery. If you walk around and you say that, uh, uh, because addicts today and recovering addicts, they say it's okay if you relapse because relapse is a part of your recovery. No, that's only because you want it that way. You have to want you have to want to be clean. You have to want a new life. You have to want not to have that hatred in your heart. You have to want God to take the taste out of your mouth. If you want relapse to be a part of your recovery, then you are going to relapse. Eventually, even if it's 5 years down the road and you got 5 years clean, why would you want that to be a part of your recovery? Because you
Right.
called it out on yourself. You knew in your mind that's what you wanted 5 years later. Why would you want that? You know what I mean? You have to know what you want, and I do not want that to be a part of my recovery ever. That's not who I am today.
Uh, that's the way I look at it. I don't want to start my clean date over. I mean, I really don't.
Yeah,
I'm proud of it.
right.
I mean,
Mhm.
now I had like 25 days in jail that I was clean, and now I've got more
Yeah,
over half of it.
yeah.
They can't say, "Well, you was just sober because you was in jail." Well, no,
Mhm.
I've already did my part of it, and like in all honesty,
It,
I could have bonded out a week earlier than when I got out,
mhm.
and I didn't. I could have borrowed the
Right,
money. My head wasn't right yet.
right,
I mean,
right.
and like I stayed hungry. I mean, I had some family members put a little bit of money on my books, but
Mhm.
if
I
it
never
been
had that though.
if it'd been easy for
You
me,
know.
I don't think I'd have
Mhm.
learned my lesson.
Right. I never had those people to put money on my books. I never had them people to pick up the phone when I called on send a call through. I never had those visits. I never had all that stuff when I went to prison. You know what I'm saying? And they call it tough love, which tough love is hard for me to swallow because I needed somebody. You know what I mean? I needed help. I needed those things. I needed somebody to show me I love you and I want you to live today. Maybe I would have got clean faster if they would have showed me that. But I see it different. I can't blame them for it because I failed myself. I failed myself. It wasn't about failing them. It wasn't about failing being a mom or being a wife or failing about being these things. It's because I wanted to fail these things. And today I don't want to fail them. I want to live. I want to
You
tell my
want
kids. My kids tell me they tell me every night, I love you, Mom. I love you, Mom. They climb in the bed with me. They waller me. They love me today. And then I didn't even stay around for them to say those things. Then they were so angry. Like my kid has been through so much, but they'll tell me today they love me. These kids don't want to leave my butt. They want to stay with me 24/7. They never want to give me a break and like getting this job. Like, man, only if people could see the other side from where I live.
it's a
Because,
better
I blamed
quality.
people for so long.
It's a better quality of
I
life.
can't, right. And I can't blame my mom and dad for being alcoholics or for police coming through my doors and not taking me away or the things that's happened in my life. I can't blame other people for it because that me getting high was because my mom and dad was the way they was. That's not that you can put the blame on people, but if you don't take responsibility for the things you've done in your life, even putting a needle in your arm or doing the things you've done, then you'll
Right.
never take responsibility to say I want to be sober or I'm gonna have relapse in my recovery. You have to take responsibility for your life and for the things that you do, or you're never gonna. If you can't tell the truth now, and if you go around just smiling in people's face but betraying them by talking about them and trashing them because you're better than them, or the things you do now affect everything about somebody. They
Yeah.
affect everything about somebody. Like if you can't be proud of what this person's trying to get clean. You can't lie about things because eventually, if you're going to lie, you're going to get high because
Right.
people trust you so much. You're sober, so they're going to look at you like you're going to look at yourself like I could get high right now, and these people wouldn't even know it because they're so proud of me. You know what I'm saying? If you put that in your own mind, then you're failing. You're already failing. If that's going to cross your mind and you can't get that out of your mind because you can get away with it, then you're gonna get high on that. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to want recovery to stay in recovery. If you don't want to stay clean, then 10 years down the road in your recovery, at 10 years you got in, you're going to slip and you're going to fall and get high again because you never had that mindset of saying, I'm going to stay clean instead of I can get away with something.
Right.
Like recovery is the biggest thing in my life. Like I can't imagine my life putting a needle back in my arm. I can't imagine doing those things, taking a pill, doing anything to mess up what I have built in my life in recovery. My one of my biggest downfalls was my weight. And now all I want to do is eat. But I would not use that as an excuse because used to I could use that as an excuse and go get high because I would lose weight on the dose. You know what I'm saying? I can't use that as an excuse because if I say I'm going to use that as an excuse, then I'm going to get high again, and I don't want that to be a part of my recovery. So now it's like I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to
Yeah.
eat. Give me some to eat because I like some food.
Golly.
I don't like my weight. I don't. But I'm one of them people that I'm going to stay positive on my weight no matter what. I'm not going to be a downfall and I'm not going to get high again. That is not a part of my recovery.
In the 60 days I've been clean, I've gained, well, 35 days since I've been home out of jail. I've probably gained close
Yeah.
to 30 pounds.
See,
And
I went from 400 pounds to 186 pounds when I got to really bad. I went all the way from 400 to 86 pounds or 186, and now I'm back at like 220, 230, something like that. So imagine getting all the way down there that low and then coming right back up and your clothes not fitting you again. You know what I'm saying? But as an
oh,
addict, we want to use those as excuse. And
yeah,
I will not use that as excuse. I will not let me fall because I don't like my weight. You know what I'm saying? I'm a different person today. And whether I gain that 400 pounds back, God gave me a new life and I'm going to stand on top. I'm
that's
going to stay sober.
that's like me. My clothes starting to fit a little tight. I just exercise. I mean, I exercise every day. I work out a little bit, and it helps me stay focused. I like some of my shows. I did tips about how to avoid relapse, and some of them's been about
Hmm.
meditation. I
Hmm.
exercise at night. I turn everything off. No TV, no phone, no nothing, and I meditate for 5 to 10 minutes and get all the negative out of me. Every day when I
Hmm.
wake up, I make my bed. I get ready for work. I've got these
Yeah.
routines, and they help me. And I mean, I still like eating, and it don't
Yeah.
bother me that people say you gained a lot of weight, and I'm like, well, would you rather me buy food or meth? Personally,
Right.
I could not go back to active addiction
I will never.
and
I will
leave.
never go back. I'll never take a drink. I'll never do anything that will make me think that I am going to relapse. Never.
I don't.
Like I thought going to a doctor to get because you attract hepatitis C from a needle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, like, I thought going to a doctor, finding out I have hepatitis C, and then having a head problem because I was so suicidal, I wanted to die. And now I can't sleep because I don't get high no more. Because the meth has, when you've been on it so long, and I've been off of it over a year, and I still can't sleep at night. So I needed a doctor to help me. And I thought, man, that's drugs. God, I don't want to put drugs back in my body if it's going to lead me back to putting a needle in my arm again.
well,
Okay,
me,
so
me
but I
personally,
I went and done it.
that's what I had to do. They put me on Selexia, and it evened
Uh
me
huh.
out because I was like I am now, but it was a little bit too much, even for
Mhm.
me. And like what
But
you was saying about the meth, after I got out of
mhm.
jail, my body
Mhm.
got on a 24-hour cycle. I would be up for 24
Mhm.
hours and sleep for like 12. I slept
Yeah.
more during my active addiction than I did when I
Right.
got sober,
When I got sober. Thank you.
and I
Me
couldn't
too.
I couldn't handle
And
that because it was
right.
and the doctor put me on some meds. I take my anti-anxiety meds and I take my meds to help me
Me
sleep.
too. I
And
wake up. I take my medicine every morning, and I'm ready to go. And I don't want drugs. Like I
yeah,
don't want to get high. I don't want nothing. No mood stabilizers. That's what I told them when I went in. No mood stabilizers. But like all these people think that it's such a bad thing because of the things that's wrong with you or the things that's happened in your addiction. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff can be clean. You can be cleaned of these things. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to walk around with it. You don't have to keep it. You don't have to use it as an excuse to get high. because then that's your excuse. You don't want to get sober. You don't want to lie a normal life. You don't want to do the things that other people. You don't want it bad enough. You have
Yeah.
to want it bad enough for yourself, not for your mother or because she's sick or your kids because they're small or because I used for a long time the excuse I woke up to my husband dead and I live in the same trailer that he died in. So like I can use the excuse all day that waking up to him black and cold in his face and there was nothing I could do because he was already stiffened. You know what I'm saying? Like I cannot use that as an excuse to get high. My excuse today is that I want to stay in recovery. I do not want relapse to be a part of my recovery. I will not allow that. I don't got friends. I don't hang out with them. I don't run around. I don't do these things. I go to work and I come home and I watch TV because God gave me a chance to live again, to never want to live in the darkest hole that I never thought I would ever see the light again. Never did I ever think I would see, because I lived in the abandoned trailer with no lights. I kept big covers over the windows. I didn't come outside. I lived in the dark and tried to kill myself so many times. I will never be that person again. It's not a part of my recovery. It's not, and it never will be. I will fight to the end to stay sober.
Well, Stephanie, I'm going to wrap up the show.
Hmm.
Listen, if
Go
nobody's told
ahead.
you today, I'm proud of you and keep going.
Thank you.
And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for sharing your story because it's going to help
Hmm.
somebody somewhere.
I hope so.
But just hang out a minute and I'll get off the hook with you. Guys, it's been another
Okay.
show. If you need somebody to talk to, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on my YouTube channel. Stephanie Mills from,
Hmm.
where you from again? Campbellsville.
Barbersville,
Barbersville, my
Kentucky.
bad.
Barbersville. Hmm.
Uh, Hit her up. There's help out there, guys, if you need it. In so many ways, shapes, and forms, there's help. All you got to do is want it, and you'll
Hmm.
have it. Once you get that first couple sober days in, you'll see there's a better quality of life. And the main thing is when you get sober, remember, happiness is free and unlimited. All you gotta do is make your own. And that's your choice. Every day when I wake up, I choose to be happy because
Thank you for it.
you get a second chance on life. And if you don't enjoy it this time around, man, you just ain't living right. Guys, I'm out.
Hmm.
Later.